Hello and welcome to Deck Builders Las Vegas, where we talk all things outdoor living. Today we're going to dig into how our Las Vegas weather really affects deck materials and how long they last. If you've ever walked outside in midsummer and felt that heat hit you, you already know this is a tough environment. Now imagine what that same heat, day after day, does to your deck. It expands boards, dries out wood, and puts constant stress on every piece of the structure. Add in cool nights, dry air, and sudden rainstorms, and you have a recipe for wear and tear that's very different from what you'd see in a mild, cloudy climate. Let's look at wood first. Traditional wood decks can look great when they're new, but in our climate, they need a lot of help to stay that way. Direct sunlight beats down on the boards, pulling out moisture and causing them to shrink and crack. Over time, that can lead to splinters and rough spots, which aren't friendly to bare feet. The color also fades quickly, especially if the deck isn't stained or sealed on a regular schedule. Then there's movement. Materials expand in the heat and contract when they cool. That daily cycle can loosen fasteners like nails and screws. You might start to see boards lifting slightly, gaps changing in size, or railings feeling less secure than they did at first. That's not just cosmetic. It affects how safe the deck feels every time someone walks across it or leans on the railing. Rain is another piece of the puzzle. We may not get rain often, but when it comes, it can arrive in heavy bursts. If the deck surface isn't sloped correctly, or if there aren't proper gaps between boards, water can puddle. And if the framing wasn't protected with good practices and hardware, that water can collect in spots where it can't dry out quickly. Over time, that leads to rot in wood framing and corrosion in cheap metal fasteners. Now let's talk about composite decking. Composite materials like those from Fiberon are engineered to handle these kinds of challenges better than many traditional wood options. They're made from a blend of wood fibers and plastic with a protective outer layer that resists moisture and UV damage. That means less fading, no splinters, and far less risk of boards warping under direct sun. You still need a solid structure underneath, but the surface itself is much more stable. In Las Vegas, choosing composite can be a big advantage if you want your deck to look good year after year without constant sanding and staining. It doesn't mean the deck is maintenance-free, but the maintenance is greatly reduced, usually just cleaning instead of regular refinishing. Weather also impacts other parts of your outdoor structure. Railings exposed to sun and wind need to be built from materials and hardware that can stand up to those conditions. Stairs need solid stringers and secure connections so they don't loosen with movement and use. Posts and beams need to be set on proper footings and protected from standing water. All of these details are part of building with the climate in mind. At Tuff Deck Builders Las Vegas, we design decks from the ground up for the conditions we know they'll see. That means proper footing design, quality framing lumber, rust-resistant hardware, and deck materials chosen for heat, sun, and occasional moisture. We also pay attention to shade. Sometimes a pergola or cover is not just about comfort, but about giving your deck surface a longer, healthier life. If you're planning to build or upgrade an outdoor space and want it to hold up well in our desert climate, you can reach us at 702-766-9561 or visit toughdeckbuilderslasvegas.com. We'll help you choose materials and a design that makes sense for where you live, not just how things look on day one. Thanks for listening to Deck Builders Las Vegas. Join us next time as we keep sharing practical, real-world advice to help you build stronger, safer, and longer-lasting outdoor.